What's up, YouTube? Wanted to do a quick update on the 75-gallon saltwater aquarium. As it stands, I have the two green chromises, I have the two clownfish, I have the two firefish, I have my blue coal tang, I have my canary blenny, I have my royal grandma, and I have my two new inhabitants, the chalk basslets. And here's the other one, which makes a total of 9 fish. I also have my starfish that's on top of a coral that's not doing good. And I also have a red flame electric scallop that has some sand on top of him. I don't know how that happened, but anyways. So, once again, the two new inhabitants are the chalk basslets. They are extremely shy fish. It took them about a week to come out and play, so to say, from the rock work. And they are, once again, very shy, and they dart like crazy. Look. Did you guys see that? They dart like crazy. But they're pretty fish. I absolutely love them. Great buy. I picked them up on Black Friday at my local fish store. My fish store had a 40% off sale on livestock, so I had to walk out with something. And they were looking at me. They were the last two fish, the last two chalk basslets that they had, and I had to grab them. Also, I picked up some coral. I picked up this very fluorescent clove polyp. I'm going to try and zoom in. Hopefully it won't be too fast for you guys. But extremely fluorescent clove polyp. Zoom out. All right. I also picked up this hammer and this acan. Now, they don't look too happy right now. I was actually cleaning the glass in the aquarium, and it was right here by the rock that they're on. So I guess the water movement, they kind of closed up. So they're starting to open back up a little bit. And I also picked up, here's the ugly. I picked up a chalice that has already croaked on me. It looked pretty bad in the fish store on Black Friday, but me being me, I'm thinking I can save it and I can get a good deal on it. But it croaked. It's no longer doing what it needs to do in my aquarium. I don't even know why I still have it there. I have a bird's nest that's right under it. That's pretty much a goner. I have the chalice, and then I have the favia that the starfish is on top of. So those three are not doing well, but everything else is doing okay in the aquarium. As you can see, I still have that ugly tubing back there. At this point, it is what it is. I also added another fake coral for my clownfish to sleep in, or however you want to say it. The clownfish hosted, or the coral hosted clownfish, however you want to say it. But as of last night, the clownfish actually slept in this fake coral, so I'm actually glad about that. So when they get a little bit bigger, they can, have a place to sleep. All right. I also picked up 2 pipe organ corals since the last video. I have one on this end, and I also have one on that end. Hopefully that wasn't too fast for you. My zoanthids are growing new polyps. I have 3 Rasta frags in here, and all of them are growing new polyps. I have a pinwheel zoanthid there that I got from Worldwide Coral down in Orlando. It's growing new polyps. My Duncan coral here is growing new polyps. I have a Miami Vice zoanthid that's growing new polyps. You probably can't see it. It's right there, but you can't get a real good view of it because of something else that I'm going to show you in the aquarium. My Polytheas growing new heads. My trumpet coral has grown a brand new head. So everything is doing pretty good in the aquarium. My waving hand Anthelia has gotten 3 times the size that it was in the last video. Now, let's move on to 1 or 2 negative things that's going on. I'm still having an Aiptasia outbreak in my aquarium. I'm kind of keeping it at bay. About every week or so, I'll go in there with some Aiptasia X and hit whatever I see. But within the next week, I see more Aiptasia. So at this point, I'm just pretty much keeping it at bay. Also, I have some bubble algae growing in the aquarium. I'm going to have to, I guess you guys can see that. I have some bubble algae growing on top of that rock there, and it's starting to spread a little bit in the aquarium. I know that most people would recommend me getting the emerald crab, but I don't know. They're crabs, and I know crabs are opportunists, and I would really hate to wake up one morning and I see that crab going to town on one of my fish. So if you have any advice for getting rid of bubble algae without using the crab method, please let me know in the comment section. It will be highly appreciated. All right. Now let's get on to why you really can't see that Miami Vice zoanthid. Because I'm doing something that you guys are probably going to say, why on earth are you doing that? As you can see, I have a breeder box here. And this is pretty much, I guess you could call it an in-display refugium, because I'm trying to grow Chaeto or Cheeto or however you want to pronounce it inside of it. So what I'm doing is I have my power head here that's kind of too strong, flowing all the way and pushing a little current into the breeder box. So the macroalgae can get a little flow, a little, current going through it. So I'm trying to grow that in the tank so it can bring my nitrates and phosphates down just a tad. I do understand that this is not a good amount for my size tank. I do understand that, it's not going to perform a miracle, but I just wanted to help out just a tad bit. If it helps out just a tad bit, it's worth it. Now, what I want to do is I actually have a smaller breeder box that's glass. I just don't know what I did with it. So one of these days I'm going to, take some time to try and find it. It has to be somewhere in my place here. But I'm going to take some time to try and find it. I think that will look a little better than this white breeder box. So if I don't find it, I'll probably buy one off of Amazon at some point. But like I said, I'm only doing this to sort of kind of help my nitrates and phosphates come down. If I don't have to buy GFO and Phosphate X and all that other stuff, and this will do it, then it'll be well worth it. Now, here's something that I would recommend to anybody that's getting into the aquarium hobby, saltwater aquarium hobby. Do not go cheap on your lights. That's one of the things that I did that was a major, major, major mistake. When I first got into the hobby or wanted to get into the hobby, my thing was, okay, well, I may have one or two coral here or there, I'm not really into coral. I was more so thinking about the fish. I really wanted the Royal Grandma. I've said that 1,000 times in my previous videos. The Royal Grandma is what made me want to get into the saltwater aquarium hobby. And I bought the strip light. That's good for soft and LPSs. As it stands, my soft and LPSs are doing fairly well outside of the 3 that I mentioned before. But it's a strip light. And the light distribution on a strip light is not the best. Nowhere near the other type that sort of kind of hang over the aquarium. My rockwork, as you can see, is in the middle of the aquarium. So I have just as much space on the back of the aquarium as I do in the front. The only problem is once again, the light distribution of the strip light is not that great. So pretty much all of my light is towards the middle to the front of the tank. So if I put this breeder box on the back of it, it really won't get any light. And if the Cheeto, whatever, is not getting the light that it needs, it's not going to uptake the nutrients that I want it to uptake. Because once again, I'm not expecting it to do a miracle, but I do want it to do something. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, that's why it's here. Hopefully I can find the other breeder box pretty soon. All right. So I believe that's pretty much it as far as an update on everything. Everything seems to be going A-OK outside of those 3 corals. Oh, there is one more thing I have to say. In a previous video, you guys saw that I had a diamond goby. I told you guys how the diamond goby jumped out of the aquarium. I found it on the floor. It didn't survive. So I decided to get another diamond goby about 2 weeks ago. The diamond goby didn't last 24 hours, y'all. It jumped through my egg crate lid within 24 hours. I found it on the floor dead. Money down the drain. So I'm definitely not getting another diamond goby, but I'm going to have to do something for my sand bed because my sand bed, it grows the algae on it pretty fast. I'm thinking about, I think there was another sand sifted goby that my local fish store told me about. I think it was called a yellowhead goby. I think I may try that just to see how it does. I don't know. But either that or I'm going to have to come in here and vacuum the sand more often, which I really hate. I don't hate doing it, but I would prefer not to do it, if that makes sense. All right. So that's that. Stay tuned for new videos. I'm going to try and pump out more videos more frequently. The next couple of videos I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my copepod culture that I just started. I'm very excited about that. And also I'm going to show you guys my 10-gallon saltwater aquarium tank that I started for my wife. And I also picked up some fish for her on Black Friday. So stay tuned for those videos. Like I said, I'm going to pump out some videos more frequently. And that's pretty much it. Once again, leave your advice about the bubble algae. And until next time, this is Fish Boy Franco.